Hey YouTubers, it's me, Lonnie Clark, Nuts for Art. I want to thank you for joining my channel. More than thanking you for joining my channel, I want to thank you for engaging and doing what you can to raise awareness about the fact that the World Health Organization takes its orders from the International Atomic Energy Agency, or from raising awareness that there has been really no nuclear safety ever since they've invented the nuclear industry. Last night I put up a video asking, does anybody think that the uranium industry is run simply for the war machine? Essentially is what I was asking. If uranium is worthless without the nuclear industry, then why do we mine uranium? And why has the International Atomic Energy Agency basically subverted the World Health Organization, who has been mandated to protect us? Why do our elected officials completely deny any health from nuclear contamination? Why are world organizations moving forward to put in new types of nuclear power facilities? Why are health physicists and scientists and nuclear scientists stating unequivocally that nuclear is safe and green and clean when it is everything but that? Why do these educated people refuse to even acknowledge the fact that there is absolutely no safety in the nuclear industry? It's beyond comprehension. Where is our humanity? Where is our humanity? There is no peaceful atom. There is no peaceful atom from fission. There is no peaceful atom. So I just don't get this. We are allowing every government to lie to us about the harm that nuclear industry is causing our generations of people. And we're just accepting it. Fish is contaminated, rice is contaminated, water is contaminated. You know, right here in Eugene, Oregon, on KEPW, there's a show called Water is Life. It's run by Jana Thrift, and she talks about, you know, the issues of water, but very rarely, and she's very aware of nuclear contamination, but there's really nobody out there in the biologic world or in the industry of oceanography who are saying, oh my God, we've got radioactive contamination out here killing the whales. It's YouTubers, essentially. We're the ones talking about it. I'm just kind of nonplussed. Like, the lack of humanity that we are experiencing among each other. Like, it's incomprehensible. It's beyond words. People say, oh, well, Americans are really good people. No, you're not. You're not, if you're willing to sit idly by and stay silent. While Paducah produces, Paducah, Kentucky has one of the worst uranium, they process uranium there, right? Hanford is not even an active site. It's really just a remediation site. So Hanford is nothing. But we have all these nuclear processing plants, these nuclear facilities. We have the NRC giving us, actually, what's interesting about the NRC since the Trump administration, since Rick Perry took over, is there's really not very much news about nuclear contamination that comes out on the nuclear alerts anymore. They just don't report it there. So we've got this upside down system, and I honestly don't get where are people's humanity. This is what keeps me going doing these video posts. I'm just nonplussed. I'm nonplussed at the lack of love and the lack of self-love and the lack of concern for our future generations, that this generation is messing up. They're missing the ball. They're missing the mark, as they say. It's not even close. The disregard for human health, that this entire generation is just dong da dong 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 da dong dong. Long as we get rich and we can go on vacations and we have our retirement plans and we have our medical plans so that we can pay for our cancers, and our children, if they get mutated, we can pay for them. I mean, it's so far away from who we are as real human beings. It's really important for us to get back to thinking and being positive and loving, and yet standing up and demanding that our government, our tax dollars, stop paying for nuclear. We have to just stop. We have to stop all of this whole entire nuclear industry. I used to say, oh, I'm not an anti-nuclear. Yes, I am. I think nuclear is actually, after doing this for 5 or 6 years, the whole thing is filthy, dirty, and of the devil, so they say. You know what I mean? The devil. I don't know what the devil is, but you can put the word nuclear in exchange for devil, because that's what nuclear is. It's death. Nuclear is death. Nuclear is death. Nuclear is death. That's it. And it's up to us to stop it. So I hope you call your elected officials and tell them to shut down the nuclear power plant near you. Most of the time, in this country at least, we only have 10-15% of nuclear energy. And if we went without it, it would not hurt the power grid one little tiny eensy. Nothing. And let's just be real. Who says we have to have lights and computers 24 hours a day? Maybe we need to have blackouts. Maybe that would help humanity if we just didn't have electricity from like 9 till 6 in the morning or something like that. Like, unplug. Let the system naturally unplug. I don't know what the answer is, but I am just nonplussed after, I've jumped back in this, and I'm editing Libby Halevi's show week after week. I listened to it a couple of times, and these are real activists. These are real people who memorize the science. They know these organizations. They've been doing it 10, 15, 20, 30 years. They're not lying. They're telling the truth that has never been heard, that you won't hear on the Make Sure No Bernie campaign station, MSNBC, or Foul News, which is Fox News. It's just not going to be told, because those companies own the nuclear industry, which own our military industry. And this actually is why I support Bernie Sanders 100%. Because Bernie Sanders is one of the only candidate that I know of that says we've got to challenge the industrial military complex. We have got to shut down the industrial military complex and take our government back from the war profiteers. That's why we have nuclear, folks. It's not for nuclear power. They could give a darn about whether we have conveniences. They want to have the waste, the byproduct. They want to have that byproduct for their weapons, because they're war profiteers, and we are assets on their balance sheet. So it's up to us, and we got to wake up our neighbors. And when people say, well, it doesn't really matter, yes, it does. It does matter. And however people can actively engage in this, however tiptoe they weigh in on it, it's better than nothing. And we have to keep our positive thoughts, and our thoughts are things. And remember that we can actually envision a time where there are no more nuclear power facilities. Imagine if we shut down every nuclear power facility on the planet today, we'd still have 500,000 years worth of work to do on them. We have maintenance. Because they don't understand the science. They have no idea how to remediate the nuclear contamination. So, I just had to get that off my chest. Put your courage feet on, you guys. We'll talk to you soon. Bye-bye.